Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Hey, what's up? What's good? Let's talk about the Shy. Let's talk about what's going on in the Shy. The Shy season 1, episode 8, Wallets. Yeah, there was a lot of wallets because you seen when Chauncey died. I think he's Jamaican Haitian dude that was when Ronnie was there. He had his wallet. Ronnie had his wallet. Um, you've seen everybody have wallets in their hand, and it was a message. Q said, like, we don't when we commit crimes or we do something, we don't take our wallets, because then people can the cops can connect you to the scene, and then people know where you live at and where your loved ones are at. So wallets was definitely a thing. And also teacups. Everybody was drinking out of a teacup, like Emmett's mother, Jerica, and also Laverne was drinking out of a teacup. I was like, what's going on with the teacup? Is there just tea spilling on this show tonight? So, anyways, let's get into it. Let's talk about the Shy. So, anyways, it was a good episode as well. I just want to talk about the episode before last with Emmett selling the sneakers. Why would Emmett be selling fakes? He was selling fake sneakers, so that's going to ruin his reputation. And then also, Emmett is from Chicago. Why wasn't he strapped? And how come he didn't have any protection? Like, he didn't think that he could get robbed having all that money on him. And so we'll find out what's going to happen with him and Homeboy, how they're going to make that money back. So I had to review this show first because I wanted to know what happened with Sonny. I was so worried that Sonny was dead. Sonny got killed. And my shirt says true that. That's what my shirt says. It says true that. Just in case you was wondering. So anyways, I was just like, yo, what's going on? So anyways, Sonny's knocked out. He's on the ground. I thought he was shot. And basically Reggie is at, Sonny's shop or whatever, his restaurant. And so then that's when Q walks in, and Q's in there. And then Reggie points the gun at Q. He's ready to get Q. But the thing about it is, as Reggie did not get permission from Trice to do this. So I think Reggie's going to have to team up with Q or do something with Q, because I think him and Trice might be done, might be finished. So we'll see what happens with that situation. And so, what's his name? Reggie's pointing the gun at Q or whatever. He was like, sit your bitch ass down, sit down. And then Q was like, you got any questions? So what's the questions you want me to answer? What do you want to know? What's good? And so he was like, yo, I got messed up, right? So basically, he was like, what's the question? He was like, what happened is I asked, Trice some questions, and he didn't respond back. He ignored me. He blew me off. So, stealing them guns, taking them guns got his attention. And so then Reggie was like, he effed me up. Yo, Reggie got beat down by Trice. Trice beat his ass. And so I really got beat down. And then Q was like, yo, back in the day, I would have curved you right in front of your girlfriend, then had sex with her for good measure, for good rapport. So basically, but Q was like, things have changed nowadays because you would have been dead. And basically, Q also lets him know that I used to run these streets. I used to run all these streets, and I passed it over to Trice. Did Trice tell you that? No, Trice did not tell him that, because Trice don't want to tell none of the guys about, Q at all. But I think Reggie has lost some type of respect for Trice because he let Q punk him, and then he doesn't know Q's background. So you can tell that Trice is a newbie. He's a rookie. He's a new one or whatever. And so he's pointing the gun at Q or whatever, and Q is just sitting there. And all of a sudden, Sonny gets up and knocked him out. Sonny cold cocked. Knocked him dead out. I was like, oh shit, Sonny ain't nobody to play with. Them big old arms don't play. Frying that catfish and them pork chops and eating that pork chop sandwich was no joke. Knocked him dead out. And so then, Sonny was like, rookie, shut the F up, rookie. I was like, oh shit, there we go. Here we go. We getting into this. And so then that's when, Q jumps up and was like, hey, Sonny, you all right? Everything's all right? Knocked him out. So Sonny ends up pointing the gun at Q or whatever, pointing the gun at him. Was like, I want you to get out of here. I want you to get out of here now. I want you to get out of here. Basically, I want you out of my establishment. And so then, Q was like, well, I gotta call Tap, and I gotta call JB. Basically, he was like, no, you don't get it. I want you gone. You should have never came back. Oh my God, like, so it's like that brotherly friendship and that love right there. Right now, Sonny is at his wit's end. He helps his brother out here and there with like giving him back his tools, hooking him up with his old friends. But then now the beef done come to his establishment, his job, the place. Now he's in danger and he's upset. But I guarantee you, Sonny, even though Sonny has taken the working man's road and not the road that his brother took, Q, I believe he still got that street up in him. He knocked him out. And it was funny, before, Sonny pointed the gun on Q. Q was like, boy, that rookie done got the jump on both of us. It was like, whoa, we slipping. Yes, you are, because but Sonny didn't know. I don't know if Sonny knew exactly. Sonny had to have some idea what's going on. Sonny has to know that Jason is Q's son, and that's why he's back. And he got his tools. He hooked up with his boys, so he knows Q's out there doing some no good shit. That's why he doesn't want Emmett to hook up with Q. But anyways, Emmett is doing his own thing, running around town, chasing his baby mama around. So anyways, Sonny knocked the F out of him. It reminded me of Friday. So anyways, Sonny was like, yo, I don't want you to come back. I don't want you to be here, and all this other stuff. Then, Sonny's just upset because he doesn't want that shit in his business. He's a working man for a reason. So anyways, we get to Ronnie. Ronnie's over there at the Haitian Jamaican's house right there. I don't know his name. He's over there at his house, and basically he looked like he's about to die. He looks like pure death. And then guess who comes to rescue him is, Chauncey. Chauncey is some type of practitioner or whatever, radiologist, and basically for some drugs he'll help out Ronnie, and some drugs and alcohol. So he gets iodine, alcohol, salt, a blow dryer, and basically to clean the wound up, help him with his pain, and then boom, Ronnie's all good. Ronnie's in shape. And so as Chauncey's pouring the alcohol inside the jar, whatever, what's his name, the Jamaican Haitian dude, the owner of the house, is just like, don't pour all the alcohol in there. I need some of that. I was like, oh no. And so, everything's all set. So then the doctor or whatever, the radiologist, Chauncey, he gets the pills or whatever. So now he's taking these pills, he's drinking these pills, like back and forth. I'm like, what are they doing? Is that like a hotel? People just sit around, get high in his house or whatever? And so anyways, but it was funny when they first seen Ronnie, his partner or whatever that was in the Jamaican's house was like, well, we got to get some roots or something. Then, the owner of the house is just like, no, we ain't talking about no voodoo shit, man. I was like, I thought that was funny. And so it's crazy. Ronnie's okay. Ronnie knocked out. He's sleeping. And then Chauncey dies on us. Chauncey overdosed on all the drugs and the alcohol. He done did it. And so basically they got to get rid of him, and Ronnie has to get rid of him basically because the Jamaican African dude, Haitian dude, has called him one of his chips because he helped Ronnie with the cell phone or whatever. And I'm just like, damn. So it was like crazy, Ronnie he is a good friend. Like, he done gave Ronnie drugs to help him, gave him a gun when he needed, gave him his son's cell phone, basically, help him out or whatever. So, and then now he's actually paying for Ronnie to get better by, giving the doctor the drugs or whatever. So the doctor dies. Ronnie got to get rid of him. Ronnie's job, is Ronnie's duty right now to get rid of him. Ronnie looks at his wallet. So we see Wallace again. Ronnie looks at his wallet and sees that he has a family and everything, and he just don't want to throw the guy in the street. You know what I mean? He just don't want to throw the guy like somewhere where he can't be found and his family will be looking for him. So Ronnie brings him to his house because his wallet has his ID and where he lives at. And so the wife finds him, and Ronnie's just pure utterly crying. It's just like, damn. And so the wife is crying and everything, but Ronnie, did the right thing so they won't be looking for him and him being missing and stuff. So it's good that Ronnie did that as well. But we also learned that Ronnie, he didn't tell the guys what he wanted to be. I don't remember him telling the guys because everybody was sitting on the couch, talked about they wanted to be. Chauncey wanted to be a doctor, but he ended up being a radiologist. Basically the same thing. The other guy on the other side of Ronnie, he wanted to be a cobbler. He wanted to make shoes or whatever. And then the Jamaican Haitian dude, he wanted to be an astronaut. But Ronnie wouldn't say he wanted to be, but Ronnie is hurt, you know. Ronnie was a soldier. We know he was in Desert Storm now, so he's seen some shit in Desert Storm. So that's probably why he came back to be a stone cold alcoholic. And he probably had a lot of problems, which he probably, even though Tracy's not the greatest person, he probably really mistreated her when he got back because he was probably suffering from PTSD and he don't want to dream and he couldn't sleep. So now Ronnie, Ronnie's situation's out the way, but he got to worry about Detective Wallace trying to frame him for something. But anyways, we'll see what happens with that situation, and if Ronnie ever gonna find out who took out Jason, and if is him and Tracy going to come to a conclusion, make up and be friends. We'll see what happens with that situation. So I was like, damn, Ronnie had to get rid of another dead body, but Ronnie's been he was in Desert Storm, so he's used to dead bodies. And then like, damn, and then Ronnie had to help carry the dead man out with a bullet wound. Like, damn, Ronnie's always, his luck has not changed. His luck has been bad, but you know whose luck has changed? Brandon's luck has changed. His luck has changed a lot. So basically, Brandon, he wakes up and he's at Jerica's house and everything. And I was like, oh shit, did they back together, whatever? So they're conversating. So Jerica's not that bad and she hasn't totally turned her back on Brandon. But I was just thinking Brandon was gonna go in to sell tacos with Lewis. I think that's his name, Lewis, because they got the hookup from the dude that sold the gun and robbed them. To Ronnie and Lewis because he works at a meat market or a fish market, whatever. And then Lewis was talking about that he makes like $1,500 when he sells tacos with his cousin on a weekend. So I knew Brandon was going to do something and not mix. But so anyways, Jerica's like, yo, what are you going to do? You got to do something. You quit your job. And Brandon's basically telling her that he's going to change. He's going to do things differently. And he's letting that go. She was like, well, you quit your job. What are you going to do? He was like, well, I want to have a food truck, sell food, whatever. Because basically Jerica is like, yo, you wanted to be on the line. You wanted to be in this restaurant, whatever. And now you totally let that go. And so, but basically it's a good thing that he got out of there because with the chef it was going to cause problems. And then Sarah done ratted him out when he thought that she was cool with him. But I don't even know why Brandon would tell Sarah about Lewis. She's obligated to tell her husband things, but they're probably going to be begging for Brandon to come back because the husband is losing money and he doesn't really know what he's doing. And Brandon has been catering a lot of their parties and working really hard. So we'll see how that combines. If they might collab in the future. So anyways, Jerica is telling Brandon that like you can have some of that money if you let your mother sell the house. You know what I mean? And so Brandon's thinking about it, and she was like, yeah, the inspector's coming over there tomorrow, or an investor that's been buying up property to look at your mom's house. All you got to do is sign the paper. He was like, no, I'm not signing the paper. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that, whatever. She's like, well, if you want to start over, you want a fresh start, you want a new start, do that. And your mom wants to start different. She wants to change. She wants to move forward. She wants to get out of that house because it has bad memories for her. And that's the only thing that she owns that's worth money, where she can actually make a difference in her life and change and move on. Sometimes you got to leave things behind, and that's what she wants to do. So Brandon decides that he's going to sign the paper. So he goes over there to his mom's house. He signs the paper. Laverne and her new husband, they chilling, whatever. He's looking for his aftershave, whatever. It's just funny. I mean, their dynamics with Brandon is funny because Laverne and, her husband are so funny. Like, they're so comedic. And so Brandon signs the paper. And so, the stepfather's like, I'm glad it's about time you signed them the papers or whatever. So that was a good scene. So it's like Brandon signing the paper is letting go of a lot of past. But, Laverne was like, I'm going to miss this house. I understand why it took you a long time. Because Brandon was like, I'm sorry. She was like, I understand you grew up in the house. I grew up in this house too. And then, Brandon said also, Coogie grew up in this house. But I guess they're letting that all go. The bad and the good memories. They're going to keep the good memories and let go the bad, I guess. Because living in a place where you have bad memories at, they continue to like go through your mind. So it is what it is with that situation. I'm glad Brandon did sign the papers or whatever, because what he wasn't, he's not going to live in that house because him and Jerica are going to have, a good life, and, she has real estate. They're going to move somewhere else or whatever, So it is what it is. Brandon then signed the papers. I was so happy for Brandon signing the papers. So It is what it is. And so then Emmett and his mom basically she's drinking tea, and they're basically just talking. Jada, they're basically that's just talking. She was like, "Yo, what's going on with your son? You know what's happening with your son. You know what's going on with your son. It's not right for a mother to just leave her kids leave her son for 2 weeks. Something ain't right. No mother does some shit like that. Basically saying like, see what's going on with her. See what's good. And so don't let your son just disappear. Like he was building a bond with you, and you was building a bond with him. Just don't let that go. And he was like, "Well, he was like, I need this vacation. I don't got no work." She was like, "Taking care of a child ain't no vacation, baby. It's not a job." He was like, "Yes, it is. It's a job." And then some. And she was like, "You know what? When I was young, everybody was playing around and having a good time, and I wasn't, and I don't regret it." I bet you don't regret it. Shit, but if you can wait, wait. If you can't, you can't. So anyway, so now Emmett is going to go look for his son. She's gonna try to find his son. He's out with Keisha. He's chilling with Keisha, and basically he's talking about his son. And Keisha was like, "I want to hear that shit. Take me on a real date, motherfucker. We can't do no baskets and no towels at the park or whatever." But Brandon sees a kid playing ball with his father, and that brings him to think about his son. So he goes to try to find his son. He talks to Mrs. Brown, and Mrs. Brown basically was like, Tiffany doesn't want nobody to know where she's at, but she didn't say anything about the baby. So he goes and he finds, Tiffany's house. The door's wide open. I was like, thank God it's not a crack house. Thank God she's not prostituting and whatever. I just thought it was going to be totally negative. But basically, he finds his son or whatever. And Tiffany, she wants child support. She wants money. She wants this and she wants that because it's hard living, because you got to pay rent. You got to pay, tuition. She got to do all this other stuff. What about that man that's staying in your house with the knife and eating the apple? Is he eating your baby food from the food stamp office? So anyways, but, he wasn't a part of the child's life for 2 years, so he can't be coming in and acting like he's all this and all that, because at first he didn't believe it was his son, because he's a child and she's a child when children have children. So, but on that note, like, he's trying to do better, and he had 2 straight weeks, and your son's straight, and he's in good hands with his father. So it seems like she should give him a chance, but she also is struggling. She's having a hard time too, and she needs help. But she's basically coming out like she wants the money for herself, but basically the money will be for the child, because the child needs light, it needs gas, it needs a place to stay, and it needs daycare, and it needs all this other stuff. And Emmett was like, I was providing all that. And so she was like, well, you can't see him and you can't take him until you give me some money. I'll put you on. She's probably going to put him on papers. Then it's going to be even more difficult for Emmett. But Emmett got 2 other kids that are in 2 other different states, and basically he FaceTime with them. That's what he tells Mrs. Brown, Tiffany's mom. So Emmett is trying. So when someone is trying and they're putting their 2 best feet forward, and they spend 2 weeks with their son, you should give him a chance, because he could have been an ain't shit mother sucker and took the kid down to the DCYF office or Child Services office and dropped him off there. You know what I mean? So they got to start somewhere. Sometimes money is very important, because you can't live without money. But if they want to give love to and knowledge and have that bond, be open to it as well. Try to work on the money situation, but don't hold the kid hostage. It seems, and plus they're both young, so they don't understand. Like, sometimes people grow a lot late than other people, and so it is what it is with that situation. So he's all good with his son. I don't know if Q's gonna be looking for Emmett, or what's gonna go on with Emmett and his situation. So anyways, that's good. And so then Brandon so Brandon goes to talk to his cousin. He goes to talk to his cousin, but before then we get to Jake, not Jake, it's Papa and Kev. Basically they're talking on the phone, to find out what they're concerned. Kevin's concerned about Jake, because Jake is carrying a gun. Jake is so hard now. He's in a gang. I'm saying, like, they feel like they're gonna lose him to the streets, or he might get locked up. You never know what could happen, because he can get on drugs. Anything could happen to Jake, because now he's in the gang, and so they're worried about him. So basically Kevin's like, yo, get Papa, go get him, and let's come to the crib or whatever. And it's so funny, because Papa is over there wood making. He's creating like little wood objects or whatever. he was talking about, I've been praying for Jake. I even made Jake a wooden cross or whatever, and he got his gospel music on and whatever. So you can see that Papa has a very different environment raised, and he knows what to do. He knows to say no or yes. Like, he won't put himself in situations he shouldn't be in. And he hears his mom and his aunt's voices. He don't play no games. Like, so he's an obedient child. He'll do a little bit, but not too much. And so basically they are having a conversation about Jake. So they all get together, they come to the crib or whatever. So they're trying to bring up the conversation to Jake about, the streets. And Jake was like, I'm okay. Everything's all good with me. Like, what you mean? What you mean? I'm good. Listen, there's nothing going on. I'm just chilling. I'm going to be making money or whatever. So Jake is on a whole different level. Like, he's maturing much faster because he doesn't have a mother, father at home. We find out that his mother ran away. She's gone. And then we find out that the father's doing a bid. So the only person that's raising him is Reg. And Reg is not even a man yet. Reg don't even know what he's doing with himself. Because he's getting pussied around and beat around. And he's following somebody's orders and commands that really don't got his back like they should. Or whatever. Because, he's got his ass beat by Trice. Or whatever. And then, if something goes down, Reggie is stuck holding the bag because Trice's hands are clean and Trice is protected really by, Wallace. And we find out that, we know Wallace covered up that murder with Q, and his boys went into, the stash house and killed 3 people. They covered that shit up. So Wallace definitely has, Trice back because of the guns. But, Wallace had to get involved because now the guns being stolen, being turned back to the police is a bad thing. People are going to be looking and asking questions of where it's coming from, who's involved. And this can actually probably bring down Detective Wallace in the Vice Department, especially if Cruz can get some information out there. And I wonder if Cruz is ever going to meet up with Q, because Q don't mind dropping a dime on a mother sucker. So we'll see what happens with that situation. But it was so good that, Jake went over to chill at, Kev's house or whatever, because at the same damn time, Reggie wakes up in his house and he has, and, JB and Tap and Q got him there and got a gun pointing at him or whatever and asking him questions about what's going on, who lives at the house, who's at this house. If Jake was there, it could have went a lot worse. And I thought Jake, and, Jake be packing, Jake be carrying a gun around. So anyways, it is what it is. And Q is just telling what's his name, Reggie, that, hey, listen, I tell my boys not to carry their wallets because see, now everybody's in danger basically with all your information at your crib. I was just like, damn it. So then we get to, Jada. She goes to see Miss Ethel. Miss Ethel, she's sleeping or whatever. Food's burning up in the oven or whatever. Ronnie ain't around because Ronnie's on his deathbed somewhere. So he can't go over there and help his grandma. And she can't help him because she's having some serious issues. And so thank God Jada went over there to go check on her. Jada didn't want to. So you could tell Emmett's mom really liked her job and she loves her patients. And she's good for, she's a good nurse. She's a good CNA, whatever she is, she's good at it because she's going over there working for free. And she couldn't even tell Miss Ethel that she wasn't going to be there anymore. So she gives her pills and shit like that. And she opened a can of soup. She opened the windows. And basically she's questioning Ethel about her medication. And then, Miss Ethel was like, I got a new plan on how to remember to take my pills. And so that, Jada's trying to tell Miss Ethel that she might not be coming around. She was like, oh, I got to tell you something. I got to talk to you about something. She was like, oh, yeah, church. I'm going to come to church with you. She was like, oh, that's good. All right, now leave now, girl. Trying to stay on the clock, basically. She said, you trying to... Miss Ethel, go now. Stop trying to make the clock, keep the clock ticking. Stop trying to make the clock tick or whatever. Stop trying to run timer on the clock, basically. And she's accusing, Jada trying to, run the clock out to get extra hours, to get extra minutes, and knowing that, but she doesn't know that this woman ain't even getting paid, and she doesn't even have the heart to tell her that, hey, listen, I can't work with you no more. So she was like, I'll see you tomorrow. And so then we get to Brandon. Brandon goes to see Hannibal. And when he goes to see Hannibal, Hannibal has a roommate in there. That's what I need. I need some roommates that want to live in my closet. I got enough closet for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people to live in. You know what I mean? So, anyways, Hannibal has a roommate from China living in his apartment, whatever. And he was like, in that country, the living quarters are very small, or whatever. So he loves it. And then it had a flat screen TV in there, or whatever. So I thought that shit was crazy. Hannibal's just like, basically, you have to have so many different pots of money coming in. You gotta have so many different pots of money coming in and all that other good stuff. But so Hannibal is showing, Brandon how to make money, how to get money, and you got to have more than one pot. You know what I mean? So you can start investing in things, just like invest in property, my peoples. And so, anyways, basically, Brandon's coming to him was like, yo, I want to start a food truck. I need help or whatever. He was like, them food trucks don't really make that money back. It's only like 15% if you're lucky. And so Brandon was like, yo, I'm looking up to you. I see what you're doing. I want my own thing. I want to have my own thing, man. I don't have nothing. I want to have something like you. Brandon wants to have something. Brandon wants a life. I believe Brandon's so real. Like, he can own up when he feels soft, when he was doing something wrong, when he did something wrong. Like, he goes right there and he faces it. He doesn't run from his problems, and that's what I like about Brandon. He faced everything head on, collision or not. So, anyways, he's speaking with Hannibal. He was like, yo, how much? He was like $50,000 to $150,000. Them trucks are very expensive. They really are. And even though used ones that they have on, online are even expensive. So, anyways, Hannibal was like, I can't, whatever. And then he ends up changing his mind. So he said, let me talk to my partner. Hannibal even got some partner. Hannibal's doing his damn thing, especially smoking all that weed or whatever. He got his mind straight. He was like, when I took the SATs, I got a 14 something on a 1500 on my test. And right after I smoked, what did you get on your test? So basically, Hannibal's gonna look into it, and he actually gets a truck for Brandon. I thought the truck was beautiful because I could see Brandon's dreams come upon him, be revealed upon him. Seeing that truck was like, that's it. I got the truck. All I gotta do is fix it up and make it my home, make it my baby, make it like the restaurant was to me. And he was so happy. Hannibal thought that he was gonna be upset and mad because he had the clowns, those shitty, ugly clowns on the truck or whatever. And so he was like, oh, go take for a ride. Hannibal worked that shit out right away, got him the truck ASAP, sitting there. And it's still, the goodest thing is that it's running and it has a lot of stuff inside that could equip him to having a food truck. So he's gonna make that money. And so Hannibal was like, Brandon's like, you wanna go for a ride? He was like, nah, man, I can't be seen in that. Brandon's like, why are you trying to shame me? He was like, nah, you do you. That's your dream. This is yours. You do whatever you need to do. I don't need to talk to you until you got my money. I was like, yo, that's some real shit. That's a real cousin. Like, that's real family shit. And hopefully, we all have people in our family that we can depend on, like, that can make things happen or help us. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. But it is wonderful just to see that vision on TV. So, anyways, Brandon got the truck. And he got Jerica back, you know what I mean? She knows that he got the truck. She likes the truck. She's happy. So they back together, and she's a strong woman. Like, she's helping Brandon get his mind right, get his mind back together, to stay focused, because she's a focused, determined individual. She don't care about none of y'all excuses. You can't tell her no excuse. She's not trying to hear it. So I think that's excellent. So anyways, now they're back together. Everything's good with that. So we get to, Kevin and Papa and Jake, basically they're at the store shopping, buying tampons. And, Papa, pays attention to the women. He pays attention to what they talking about, because he's learning. He's actually can learn something from them. And it's wonderful when the next generation can learn something from the older generation. Sometimes these days, generations are not passing down generational knowledge or whatever. But he's talking about women periods and sink and stuff like that. So he's buying the tampons, the pads or whatever. So, but basically I want to say one thing about that. Pads and tampons, they have bleach in them. So they're really not good for you. They can cause cancer. I got the information from D Whole Food, Dr. Whole Food, and other, metaphysical people talking about, how tampons has the bleach in them. You put it right up again, especially when you use the tampons, and you clogging that bleach right up into your system where it's not, the blood is not flowing out or whatever. And so it's not good. So anyways, so I don't use tampons anymore. And I don't use the one with bleach. They sell, holistic stores, natural stores sells, the tampons without the bleach and all the chemicals that you're putting up where the moisture develops and putting it up in your vagina, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. So moving on from that. So anyways, they get the tampons or whatever. Everything's all good. So they get back to the house. They're walking home with the groceries. And then what happens is they ask Jake about Jake like, yo, what are you doing? Where you going to chill at? Basically questioning Jake about the situation. And Jake was like, yo, don't be questioning me, Kev. You the one that shot somebody. And then Papa was like, what's he talking about? You shot somebody. Kevin was like, nah, it's not nothing. Then Papa was like, yo, real friends don't keep secrets. Real friends tell the truth. And Papa's feeling some type of way, so he walks away, and he's kind of done with, Kevin for now, because he done lied to him. And he's not being open with him, and they're supposed to be boys. They're supposed to be friends. They're not supposed to keep secrets from each other. So it is what it is with that situation. I was just like, damn. So we know where Jake is going. Jake is going home. Jake goes home, and before Jake leaves, Jake tells the guys that, oh, I'm protected. I got my brother. They was like, what if your brother's not there? My brother's always going to be there. So basically, Jake has this false sense of protection with, Reg, because of the gang and him ordering people around. But he can be touched. He can be leaked. He can be touched. And now he sees that his brother can be touched as he walks in the house, and his brother looks beat down, and he's not in control, and he knows these guys are taking order. He knows his brothers are taking order from Q and his guys, and he knows the situation. They put the guns away, whatever. But it was funny how Q shows him the knife and shit, gives Jake the knife. I think that was a test to see if Jake had the heart to do anything, and he didn't. So he put the knife in his thing, and plus he's outnumbered. So him not doing anything also makes Jake look smart, because he's outnumbered and the situation can get worse. So basically, that's when Q asks him questions like, so you gonna tell me anything about the police officer? And so he lets him know that Detective Wallace is the person that is helping, Trice. And so then, Q's gonna run with that information. He's gonna do some shit about that, because then I don't know if Q knows. Q's gonna find out about the cell phone his son tried to call 911, whenever he talks to Detective Lewis, or if he ever talks to Ronnie, and then find out that the call has been deleted. So he's gonna find out some information. And Reggie really doesn't know who killed Jason, but I think Trice knows this. I think Trice knows who killed Jason, because they were all out there on the block. So anyways, we'll find out what's going on with that. So Q got his information. He got what he wanted, but he didn't get all his information, because he wanted to know who killed, Jason. And also he tells, Reg that, Trice is thinking about replacing him. He don't want you no more. He's going to have one of your homeboys, one of your soldiers that you got with you, put a bullet in the back of your head and take your spot, because you're dispendable. So basically, we're going to see if Reggie's going to cross over and chill with, Q and run with Q, or is Reggie going to be the inside man for Q while he's chilling with Trice? Because now Reggie's going to be watching Trice twice as hard to see any signs of weakness, any sign of lying, things he ain't doing right. So to make himself feel better when he goes with the other team, which is Q. So we'll see what happens with that situation. I was like, damn. But Reggie's in a hard position, because Q could be lying to him, but Q actually raised, Trice in the street game. So Q could really be telling him the truth. And Q would take care of you and kill you off rip. But he might just help Reg and his brother, because he whispered in Reggie's ear, and I believe he whispered in Reggie's ear to tell him to take care of his brother and be there for his brother, keep him safe or whatever. Or if he does something stupid, he's gonna take care of Jake. Jake looks scared as shit. All that hard talking going out the window. So it is what it is with that situation. I was like, damn. So Papa is mad at Kev. He's definitely mad at Kev. I was just like, damn, but I'm so happy for Brandon. When they said Mr. Wu, and Mr. Wu was talking about how short Brandon is, Brandon was like, I beat Mr. Wu's ass. I thought that shit was funny too as well. So, it was a good episode. It was definitely a good episode. Q is getting closer to the information on what's happening with what happened with Jason. So hopefully we'll see We'll see what happens. So anyways, I think that's it. Anyways, peace. I'm out. One love to all my peeps and my peoples. Buy property, my peeps. Damn, I'm at 33 minutes. Shit.